Boy, let's see if I even remember how to do this. What's happening, everybody? Justin, Bridgewater's Finest on YouTube, Blockbuster_guy on Twitter, and welcome to today's Finest for March 27th, 2018, fueled, as always, by Nerd Teas. Today's Nerd Teas blend is lemon ginger, and I need that lemon and I need that ginger to soothe my throat from all the screaming and cheering for my team that I did this weekend. Due diligence, let's get that sub count up there. No change from last time, which is not a big surprise. Now, I did put out some content since the last time I've been on here to do a Today's Finest. I did put on my NHL content. I did put on my March Madness content. You can go check those two pieces of content out, but no subscriber change since then. That's okay. Also, make sure, if you haven't already, follow the show on Snapchat, BWF_902 on Snapchat. That information's in the description below. Get some behind the scenes stuff you can't see anywhere else. Follow the Snapchat channel. And as the title indicates, boy did I ever get pucked last weekend. So if you've been following the channel for a long time, you know Nick. Nick has been visually on this channel. His audio has been on this channel in the past. Nick and I headed into Halifax this past weekend to check out first round Quebec Major Junior Hockey League playoff action between our Halifax Mooseheads and the Baie-Comeau Drakkar. In the QMJHL playoffs, this is a 4 versus 13 matchup if you're thinking in terms of, say, March Madness. It's a 4 versus a 13. Definitely, clearly, one team is the favorite. That's our team. But we were treated to a pair of really excellent games. But before we get into that, some highlights that didn't take place at the rink. Before we even got there, before we got checked into our hotel, we made a stop at D&M Sports. Shout out to D&M Sports. They're the sports card retailer in Halifax. They're also in Moncton, New Brunswick. And I picked myself up a hobby box of 2017-2018 CHL hockey. Now, the CHL, for the uninitiated, is the league that the Mooseheads play in. It's the Canadian Hockey League, which is comprised of the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, the Ontario Hockey League, and the Western Hockey League. The CHL comprises basically the entire junior hockey experience in Canada, with some franchises in the United States as well. This is where the future of the NHL plays. It's in the CHL. So I picked up that hobby box for about $70 Canadian, and these are my two big hits. We got pictures of them right here. It is an autographed CHL rookie card of Riley Damiani, who plays for the Kitchener Rangers, and a 1-of-1 printing plate card. This is a card that is used, it's actually metal, and it's used in the creation of the hockey cards. So it's a 1-of-1, it's completely unique, and it's of Nick Porco of the Saginaw Spirit. The CHL hockey line is 192 cards in a hobby box for just under $70 Canadian. It's a pretty damn good value for a hobby box. The cards are of good quality. The inserts are plentiful. You're talking rookie cards. You're talking top NHL prospects. You're talking really talented players at the junior level. There's plenty of inserts. There's a guaranteed autograph in every hobby box, which is tremendous. Teams across the Quebec, Ontario, and Western hockey leagues are well represented. Folks, this line is well worth the money in my opinion. Go grab yourself a hobby box. See what future NHL stars you can find. And in between hockey games, Nick and I did what we typically do when we go to the city. We hit the casino, specifically the blackjack tables. Now, for those that might not know, I consider myself actually a fairly good blackjack player. I go to the table, I have certain rules, I have certain strategies that I don't break. Never hit on anything above a 14, which is a weird thing to say, I guess. When in doubt, make the dealer beat you, and so on and so on. There's rules that I play by when I sit down at the blackjack table, and it's made me a pretty good player. But for anyone who might have a bit of an addictive personality, I think I can probably put myself in that category. The most important strategy I can impart to you when you walk into a casino, never walk in with more money than you're willing to lose. So that said, I sat down at the blackjack table. I put $100 down, the $10 limit table. So at the very worst, I'm probably going to get 10 hands out of this. I lucked out. I got my favorite seat at the table. My favorite seat at the table is to the dealer's left. I want to be the first one to act. I don't want to have to think about what other players have done ahead of me. I want to be the first player to act when everyone's got their cards. I want to make that first decision. I lucked out. I got my favorite seat at the table, sat down with my $100. I was only there for about maybe 25 minutes, and I doubled it. This is another very important strategy. If you double your money, walk away. And that's what I did. I was only at the table for 25 minutes. I doubled my money. I said, thank you very much. I stood up and I walked away. But I was not the only success story at this table. No. Nick sat down exact opposite to me. He was to the right of the dealer. He was the last player to act, and he better than doubled his money. I think he only put maybe $40 on the table, but I'm pretty sure he walked away with $100. So he better than doubled the money that he brought onto the table. So the long and short of that is, if you're looking at getting into blackjack, you need some advice, you know where to come. Okay, hockey. The Mooseheads came out heavily favored at home and basically for 6 straight periods put on a bit of a clinic. The Mooseheads win both of their games 1 and game 2 of the round 1 series against Baie-Comeau by scores of 5-2 and 5-3. The second game really should have been 5-2, but rather embarrassingly, we scored on our own net. Mooseheads captain Maxime Fortier, who may also be the fastest player I have ever seen live play a game of hockey, leads the way for the Mooseheads. He scored 3 goals in those 2 games. I believe one of them was a game winner. I think one of them was even a game tying goal maybe in the first game. I seem to remember that. But Max Fortier, 3 goals in 2 games. He played incredibly well. And prospective NHL lottery pick in the 2018 entry draft, Fortier Zadina, also plays for my Mooseheads. He co-leads the team, with Fortier with 4 points in those 2 games. Worth noting as well, we had some NHL general managers on hand in the press box directly scouting these 2 games. Most notably, Marc Bergevin, general manager for the Montreal Canadiens, in Halifax on hand scouting these 2 games. You also had Pierre Dorion from the Ottawa Senators, and you had Mark Hunter, who's one of the assistant general managers for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So you have high caliber NHL level general managers at these games watching these players. And then you got somebody like, again, Fortier Zadina, who is a prospective lottery pick in the draft this year, kind of putting on a show. They also got to watch Connor Moynihan, one of the assistant captains for the Mooseheads, get in 2 fights in 2 nights, standing up for his teammates, and goaltender Alex Gravel, who I said either last year or the year before, I believe it was last year, this kid's going to win us a championship because he's one of the best goaltenders that I've ever seen. He turns away, 62 of 67 shots in 2 games. Really should have been 62 of 66, but sadly, that empty net goal does count against his stats. Special shout out to Xavier Perrin, who is a rookie in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. He leads all rookies in playoff goal scoring with 2. One of those goals came on the power play. And we're also going to shout out defenseman, and I'm going to mispronounce your name. I know I am. I apologize for it. Jake Ryczek, Ryczek. It's either Ryczek or Ryczek, and I apologize that I've pronounced it incorrectly now. But he leads all defensemen in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League in the playoffs with a +5 rating. So in short, we played really well. 7 different goal scorers, 11 different skaters have points. Our goaltender is on point, above a .920 save percentage so far. We're playing incredibly well. Game 3 goes tonight in Baie-Comeau with Game 4 on deck for tomorrow. Go Moose, go. All right, folks, that's going to do it for this return to today's finest. And here's your hook for next time, maybe. First of all, I'm unsure when the next episode is going to be. If you'll remember, I'm still kind of waiting on the mail. I'm still waiting to get something in the mail that I want to unbox for you and I want everybody to be able to enjoy. But my hook for next time is I kind of want to talk about a bit of politics. So we're going to get a little serious next time because I want to talk about, obviously, the gun debate that's going on in the States. It's only now gotten heavier with the March for Our Lives and what's happened at, high schools across the country and all too frequent mass shootings and things like that. I kind of want to talk about that a little bit because I think there's an element of it that not enough people are talking about. So I kind of want to dive into that element with the episode next time. That could be later this week. It might not be until early next week. I'm not 100% sure yet, But that'll be what we're going to talk about next time. Unless I get that package in the mail, we're going to dedicate the whole episode to unboxing that package. All right, folks, that's going to do it for this episode of Today's Finest. Once again, March 27th, 2018. That's it for me, Justin, Bridgewater's Finest on YouTube, Blockbuster_guy on Twitter, fueled as always by Nerd Tees. Thank you very much for watching. Hit me with a like, maybe hit me with a subscribe if you liked it a lot, and we will see you next time.